Welcome once again to Population Genetics and Evolution Unit 2, Session 5, Polymorphism. And by the close of this session, you should be able to explain polymorphism, identify and explain types of polymorphism, define appropriate terminologies, and state the importance of polymorphism. Polymorphism is a discontinuous genetic variation resulting in the occurrence of different forms or types of individuals of the same species within a group or population. A discontinuous genetic variation divides the individuals of a population into two or more sharply distinct forms. Polymorphism may apply to biochemical, morphological, or phenotypic, behavioral, immunological, and molecular or genetic or DNA characteristics. The different human blood types A, B, AB, O, as well as male and female sexual dimorphism in a population of animals and plants illustrates polymorphism. The different forms observed in a polymorphic population are called morphs, which are the phenotypic expression of an organism's genotype. Essentially, these are gene products without intermediaries, hence they are discontinuous. However, traits that are continuous variations cannot be used to determine polymorphism. Polymorphism depends on heterozygosity. Both heterozygosity and polymorphism are used as measures of genetic variation of populations. Heterozygosity is the fraction of individuals in a population that are heterozygous for a particular locus in a human population. 1. With AB, AO, and BO blood types have higher heterozygosity than another human population. 2. With AA and BB, OO blood group types, even though both populations are polymorphic for blood group. Combinations of different alleles determine the levels of heterozygosity. High heterozygosity means lots of genetic variability. Low heterozygosity means little genetic variability. Different alleles within populations can be identified by phenotypic effects, tongue rolling, seed shape disorders like color blindness or Huntington's disease, and also by variation in protein structure or variation in DNA sequence. The result of genetic variation in any natural population determines polymorphism, which constitutes its genetic diversity. The balanced polymorphism. This occurs when different forms of an organism coexist within a given population in equilibrium or at a constant proportion from generation to generation. A polymorphism that persists over many generations is usually maintained because no one form has an overall advantage or disadvantage over the others in terms of natural selection. In other words, all the forms possess survival value for the species. There are various types of balanced or stable polymorphism. In humans, the existence of the A, B, AB, and O blood groups is an example of balanced polymorphism. These blood groups remain constant from generation to generation within one population. This is because none of them have a selective advantage over the other. Sickle cell anemia genotypes AA, AS, SS in a population is an example of balanced polymorphism. Two alleles AS are advantage in zones infested by malaria. The sickle allele S gives protection to malaria but can lead to a fatal blood disease. The normal hemoglobin allele A permits normal transport of oxygen but gives no protection to malaria. Sexual dimorphism. The male and female of animal and plant population constitute balanced polymorphism as their proportion remains constant from generation to generation unless there is an artificial preference for a particular sex. The caste system. Social insects such as bees, wasps, ants, and termites have members differentiated into distinct castes for division of labor. However, division of labor is accompanied by structural, functional, and behavioral specialization leading to a clear balanced polymorphism. In these insects, caste determination takes place due to genetics as well as extrinsic factors like nutrition. Reproductive caste males develop parthenogenetically from unfertilized haploid eggs, whereas the queens, workers, and soldiers are diploid females differentiated from fertilized eggs. Differentiation of queens from others takes place just because of equality and quantity of food served. For example, in cases of bees, royal jelly given to the female larva causes her to develop into a queen, while honey and pollen, bee spread, causes her to develop into a worker, parthenogenetically. When alleles, alternate form of a gene occurring at the same locus of homologous chromosomes and contrasting characters, have different phenotypic expression, then polymorphism results based on the number of allelic genes and their proportion in the gene pool. In many cases of polymorphism, the different morphs are distinct. Neural polymorphism, neutral polymorphism. Variations in an organism's DNA sequence without having any phenotypic effect are called neutral polymorphisms. Examples of such polymorphism may include single nucleotide polymorphisms and restriction fragment length polymorphism. In the single neutral polymorphisms, one of the nucleotides of a codon undergoes change but codes for the same amino acid, as there are more than one codon for most amino acids. Example, the codon CUU, CUC, CUA, and CUG codes for the amino acid leucine. However, some single nucleotide polymorphisms can have phenotypic expression in homozygous condition. Example, sickle cell gene as SS. Transient polymorphism is one form of phenotype which is gradually being replaced by another. As the name implies, it represents a temporary situation as a byproduct of directional natural selection. For example, during the course of industrial melanism, it was held that the melanic form of peppered moth gradually predominated the non-melanic form in the trees of Manchester, England, due to selective pecking of the lighter form by predator birds, which coincided with the Industrial Revolution. Polymorphism importance determines the genetic diversity of species in a population. This gives each species a flexibility of adaptation in the environment. Polymorphism, as determined by genetic variation, is a basis for the action of natural selection, leading to change in allele frequencies and then microevolution. Polymorphism leads to division of labor for effective social organization and utilization of natural resources such as the caste system in bees and termites. In many polymorphic species, the social organization integrates the discrete members, similar to the harmony seen among different organs of a single biological organism, thus ensuring the welfare of the whole population and the species as a whole. In review, polymorphism is due to major genetic effect. The result of this continuous variation creates distinct forms of organisms of the same species with different adaptations. The types of polymorphism include balanced, allelic, neutral, and transient. Polymorphism influences genetic diversity to enhance adaptation of a species of organisms to survive.